Dragon Quest Your Story is a Dragon Quest animated feature film coming out in Japan August 2nd of this year, with no current news on the possibility of a US or English release. But fingers crossed. Regardless, I am super frickin' excited because until the trailer dropped last week, I had no idea that this was even happening. Regular viewers of my channel should already be aware that I am a huge Dragon Quest nerd. I've been playing the series since the original Dragon Warrior on the NES, and it is the only series that I love that is still consistently producing amazing content. Needless to say, I have complete faith that the film will be awesome. The visuals look great, on par with the quality and style we've come to associate with studios like Pixar and DreamWorks in the US. Some fans are understandably disappointed that the movie doesn't have that signature Akira Toriyama look that encapsulates the Dragon Quest series as a whole, but these redesigns still look really good. Plus, I've played Dragon Quest XI. I've seen Toriyama's characters rendered in full 3D. I don't hate the idea of a departure, and I don't feel like we're missing out on something that could have been, because we've seen it before. Plus, I think that Toriyama's sense of maniacal whimsy still shines through in the design, as evident by the antagonist Lodja. I assume it's Lodja anyway. Truthfully, he looks a bit more like Dragon Quest III Zoma. Still, while artistic liberties were obviously taken, I think the movie more or less respects Toriyama's designs. I mean, as soon as I saw the hero's purple turban, I knew that Your Story wasn't gonna be a loosely related by name only Dragon Quest movie. Square Enix is not about to release another Spirits Within disaster. You see, Your Story, as you may already be aware, is a retelling of Dragon Quest V, Hand of the Heavenly Bride, which is another reason I'm so excited. I've always loved the sense of adventure that you get from playing Dragon Quest V. Some of the other game plots are more drawn out or compartmentalized, but 5 is a roller coaster of action from start to finish. Really, if any game were going to be adapted into a film, this was the perfect one to pick. A recap. The story follows the life of a hero, now officially named Lucas in the film. As you play the game, you see his birth and ultimately his death. He meets his childhood sweetheart Bianca, and as children, they go off and share an adventure exploring a haunted castle. And that sequence really just establishes the character's possible relationship. I wouldn't be surprised to see the whole bit cut from the film, or severely truncated. Anyway, young Lucas goes off on an errand with his father, Papa Pancraz, to protect the successor to the kingdom's throne, Prince Harry, who's a real brat. But his stepmother, the Queen, has him kidnapped by bandits. In swoops Lucas and Papa to save the day, but things go poorly. The big bad Lodja shows up, Papa dies, and the two boys are sent to join the throngs of slaves building Lord Lodja's Dark Temple. Years later, a now much buffer adult Lucas escapes in a frickin' river barrel and sets off on his journey to avenge his father's death and defeat the evil Lodja. Oh yeah, and along the way, Lucas gets married, restores an ancient floating castle to its rightful place among the clouds, but not before being turned to stone, rescued by his own kick-ass hero twins, and traveling back in time to meet his past self. Dragon Quest V has everything. Love triangles, revenge, time travel, cute little monster companions, epic music, and well-developed charismatic heroes. Sure, maybe Dragon Quest V isn't the most iconic Dragon Quest storyline. It's light on dragons and dragon lords. But it's an exciting ride from start to finish, and the emphasis on floating Castle Zenithia in the trailer may suggest that if Your Story is a cinematic success, that adaptations of the other two games in the Zenithia trilogy may be forthcoming. Dragon Quest IV and VI, respectively. I, for one, would love to see Dragon Warrior IV made into a feature film, with the larger-than-life bumbling merchant Tulun or kick-happy Princess Elena. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So, to reiterate, no. I am not surprised that of all the Dragon Quests to convert into a film that they would pick Dragon Quest V. Although I am curious how they plan on cramming that much story into a feature-length format. Dragon Quest games are dense with content, and 5 is certainly no exception. Even in my synopsis, I left out plenty of subplots, like the mystery of Lucas's mother and the reveal of the bigger, badder boss in the final showdown. But however they do it, I'm positive that they will include the most important element of the game, the impossible choice between hotties Nira and Bianca for Lucas's marriage proposal. DS exclusive Deborah appears, however, to be sadly missing.